Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to today's stream. It's gonna be about personal and collective responsibility. Hello, De La Dragones. Welcome, 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 welcome. So today's talk is about personal and collective responsibility during a hypothetical case of a revolutionary process that we're trying not to make so hypothetical anymore. Because people when people hear the word revolution, say people the right wingers call normies, say regular old people, just people who haven't thought so much about politics because they're tired with their chores and whatnot, right? And when they hear about revolution, they freak out. They think there's gonna be violence and chaos and destruction and whatnot, right? They're really scared of a revolution. And then there's this weird mix between the revolution is gonna come and destroy everything, and at the same time the revolution, that's a hypothetical thing that's not gonna happen, never ever anywhere in the world, which history kind of disagrees. But it's like, oh no, but Francis Fukuyama told us it was the end of history, and that should be the case, right? That should be enough, and that's certainly not the case. So I'd like to hear your opinions about the subject too, and we can interact a little bit. It's not just me blabbering. I'll be as respectful as I can, because I know this is a sucky situation when somebody's on the microphone and we have people in the chat, and I fucking hate that the end of history take as well. It's abysmal. I think the Francis Fukuyama himself has really retracted from it in shame, and but the thing is, the damage is done, right? The harm is done, and that's capitalist realism, and that's one of our boogeymen right now. One of the things that we need to really oppose, capitalist realism, and we're gonna work on it. All right, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out, more or less, because this is my opinion. I'm not a scholar or anything. I'm just an average guy from the street, working class, poor as fuck, from a working class family in a coming to you live from a working class neighborhood. And if you're watching this later in the recording, well, say hello to you. Maybe you can catch the next, and hopefully things will be better. But in the meantime, I'd like to point out the subject of today's subject, which is very related to the revolution, or very generic as well, but very useful as well, is that the concept of personal responsibility, or say, how do we take it to heart that that we are the ones who have to build all of the aspects of the revolution. When I say revolution, I mean a revolutionary process. And it's longer than it looks, and it's a lot of work. But if there's a lot of people to do a lot of work, we all can do it together, and we can come through. And I'm gonna base this in one of the examples of a successful revolution that I know of, that was cut short tragically because of the quote-unquote Spanish Civil War. That was not a Spanish Civil War, but actually a coup d'etat by fascists and the elites in Spain back in 1936. But to put us in context, from 1931 there was the Second Spanish Republic, which was more or less like a quote-unquote modern democracy, in the way that the demos exerted the kratos in a very limited way, like a representative democracy like the ones we have nowadays, but back in 1931, where things were not so advanced for the rest of the world. So it had decent constitution for today's standards. Very revolutionary, very high profile for 1931 standards. And I'm gonna talk about, you know, when you're in the when you're working on it, when you're organizing in general, before the revolution or anything like today, the attitude that we need to have is that one of personal responsibility. It doesn't, and it's not related to liability. It's not liability. It's nothing to do with liability. This is not about looking for culprits, for mistakes or problems. It goes the other way around. This is about taking upon yourself to look for solutions. And looking for solutions, I think it's key. Because we have a lot of problems. We're, in general, you know, here in the life, we're really good at finding problems. And that's fantastic. It's a great thing that we do. Yeah, exactly. The only ones who can save us is us. And that's a big truth. And us is every one of us, but also, you know, yeah, I need to really put this together. But you're absolutely right. You know, this personal responsibility, it's about how can we help others with our actions. So it can sound like a very Catholic concept, and could be, you know, comes from the Catholic, Roman Catholic tradition of the Spanish people, in my case. But it makes sense, you know, because the image that right-wingers created, so for apolitical, quote-unquote, massive air quotes here, right? But, you know, people who don't, you know, concern themselves as with politics, right? They perceive it because of the tale that the right wing told them about the revolutions and revolutions being violent and all. And there's a bit of truth there, but it's a lie by omission, in a way that a revolution needs to be an overthrow of the current system, but also a building of the new system. And that's a shit ton of work that goes unseen because of all the flashy bang bang whatever. And there's one of the key points. I mean, personal responsibility, it really overlaps all of the aspects of the revolution, in a way that if we ask ourselves what we are doing or what we're about to do, does it help? Does it help? Who does it help? How does it contribute to making things better? To create structures, attitudes, to correct, to educate, to create material conditions that help other people who are downtrodden right here, right now in our societies. We have literal armies of homeless people right now that need to be on our side, that we need to take care of. We need to take care of so they become our comrades. Because they should be our comrades. They're suffering the same consequences, the worst part of the consequences of the capitalist system, the one that we need to overthrow and replace by a comprehensive socialist system that helps people, that is there to make everybody's life better. And not, you know, a few 1% life miserable because they're not even happy. They're just powerful but not happy. And also, you know, wars. So let me read what you're saying. There are a lot of people who need empowerment because they are the revolution. We all are the revolution. That's kind of the point. And you're absolutely right, of course. Like, why not let marginalized people lead their own liberation? Absolutely. It's about empowering people, everybody. Like, I'm a person of color, so I worry about. A lot of leftists are trying to be a white savior. Yeah, no, we go together, and that's one of the things of personal responsibility, is that one of the first things that we need to leave behind is our fucking ego. Our ego to the garbage. to the garbage of history, because we cannot perform collective actions from an egoistical frame of mind. And that's why we need to unravel, deconstruct. We need to undo the bullshit, neoliberal mind frame, which is me, my needs, me. It's always about, the fucking ego. And it's one of the things that we need to get rid of. That's one of the things that the hippies, and not the stereotypical hippies, but the actual hippies. And please check Malvin Reynolds or check, the actual hippie movement, the one that was political before Woodstock commodified it and made it soft. But the actual hippie movement was about liberation. And one of the things that we're trying to do with the psychedelic drugs was to take away the ego. The ego is a fucked up thing. It's what makes us fight each other. It's what makes us justify the oppressive bullshit at individual levels, but at collective levels. It's I don't even have to tell you. You all know what's going on, right? Out in the world, it justifies the Nicaraguan Contra, it justifies Goldman Sachs, it justifies the IMF, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's about us, not you or me. I'm nobody, and you're nobody too. But you're somebody, I'm somebody, but we together are the subject of the revolution. So for that, we need to really build this personal responsibility, which is taking matters into hands, but not just the dirty stuff, and not just the bad stuff, but also the good stuff. We need to really build things. We really need to keep people at their jobs. We need to create new jobs for people together, because company owners, they brag all the time about, we are the saviors, we are the ones who create jobs. Bullshit. They own the workplaces. They own the real estate. They extract. They're leeches. They don't create no jobs. We work. They take. So, that's a false bullshit that we need to really, you're schizophrenic. I got a friend who's schizophrenic, and he's a fantastic man, and I love him to bits and to shreds. So, yeah. Oh, ego death is one of the things that you do. And, yeah, that's a basic. It's how can I help my comrades? How can I help the people who need help the most? And that's not charity. It's solidarity. It's horizontal. It's we all together helping each other, And that's why we need to take care of the homeless. We need to take care of the hungry people. We need to take care of people who are being evicted from the houses because of shitty landlords. We need to locate shitty landlords and, hold them into account. But for that, we need to be organized. And being organized is getting rid of your ego, getting rid of your little box. Where we at? I'm in a little box right now. Visually, but also, figuratively and literally sometimes. We spend a lot of time home alone, or, and we need to keep in touch with our friends and comrades, and we need to make things happen together. Get to fucking work as much as we can, because if you're stuck at home because you're sick, you're ill, you have a mental illness, you have a disability, whatever, you can do some. If you are able to do some intellectual work, there's always something that we can do, and it's the same old, to each according from each according to their ability, to each according to their needs. That's fucking key. That's great. Yo, Tselgun, welcome. Started watching. I found through Chud Logic, the Chudster, wonderful comrade. Today the subject matter is it's personal and collective responsibility. Thank you, Del Dragoness. Appreciate it. Much love. So we're like in step 1, get rid of our ego. Step 2, how can we help? What we can do to help within our capacity, but also together with our comrades. How can we get organized together, create little collectives that serve to larger collectives that get federated into bigger structures? And he's like, oh man, this never happened. This never happened. This can never happen. That's theory bullshit. And I say, theory, my sorry, sweaty ass. Because, matter of fact, I bring to you an example. And that's when I'm gonna fade into this wonderful little movie. I'm gonna show you. This is the thing we're gonna play today. Little by little. It's in Spanish, but don't freak out. I'm gonna read through you and translate the relevant parts. And indigenous people were federating before white people. Yeah, definitely in the United States. Definitely everywhere in the world. People were federating and organizing. That's what societies are. Societies are organized people. Societies are not made of magical things, are made of people who organize in structures. The thing is, when those structures are built hierarchically and in absolute, dreadful bullshit, that's when the people need to step up and tear them down and build new ones that serve the people, that serve us. Anarchists from Africa who were explaining, it happens and happened there too. It happened everywhere. Anarchistic organization. Anarchism is not a way of organization either. It's a philosophy. And anarchism it's I'm here for you. I'm here for you. What can we do for each other together? That the fucking voluntary exchange that the fucking capitalists like so much to talk about, which is absolute bullshit because it's absolutely fabricated. It's bullshit as fuck. So that voluntary exchange happens naturally in anarchistic organizations. We help each other, and whoever has a problem, we tend to help each other. We help each other. Our problems are strive. So I'm gonna 1934 started, it started in the 1920s, so it's a long story. But long story short, 1934, peasants started to take their lands in Spain. And they found a lot of repression by the government, by the right-wing government in 1934. 1936, I think in 1930. I don't remember the date exactly, but there was a more left-leaning government that took a little bit the pressure off of them. But these farmers, they collectivized their land. So the slogan was la tierra para quien la trabaja. So I don't define myself as an anarchist. I dare not define myself. I wish I could be a proper anarchist. But I also see the advantages of a state as a transition towards stateless, classless, moneyless society. But it needs to have a lot of anarchistic characteristics, that state. And it looks like an oxymoron, but it doesn't. Like it needs to serve the people. It needs to serve the people. So what's the place of personal responsibility here? I'm going to show you how these people organized themselves during their revolution. And eventually, we'll get rid of the state or whatever, It's not a problem. I say, anarchist ideas and Marxist Leninism are not so different. They just slight variations on the same theme, and they have different philosophies. But if you read if you check Mao's ideas about the state, Mao said that the state needs to serve the people first too. So it's and how do you get the state to serve the people by the state being accountable to the people, therefore by having anarchistic characteristics in the state. So, most of the time it looks like people online are more obsessed with sticking to their brand, choosing a team, and sticking to it, no matter what. And finding their identity as opposed to the other leftist identity, which is absolute bullshit, than actually engaging with ideas and find that, the famous thesis and antithesis and synthesis, right? You have way more in common with Mao than people think when they first met me. Yeah. I mean, idealism is good if you mix it with a little bit of pragmatism. It's both materialism and idealism working together. Because if you only do the math and do the mechanisms without serving an idea, then you lost your way. You lost the north. You lost the everything. But going back to the personal responsibility thing, I'm sorry. I just came back from a long hike / footage taking for another project that maybe nobody's gonna see, or nobody from here. Maybe some other people is gonna see. It's gonna be a short movie. Hopefully, I'll be able to share with y'all if the time comes. But it's not my project. It's a friend's project. I'm helping. Because that's what we do. We help our people. We help our friends. We help our comrades, and we help people achieve goals. But yeah, let's put this movie in. Yeah, let's get started with the movie. I'm gonna put you in context. This is Revolution 1930, starting 1934, but this is probably filmed around 1936, 1937, and it's when workers took over factories, workers took over basically society. There was by the hand of the CNT, they organized an anarchist revolution. While the war was raging in the fronts, which was a little bit, the timing was not the best, but it was the only window of opportunity that they had. And at the same time, they were organizing the militias, which in hindsight, the militias were anarchist militias and they were really good, but yeah, shit hit the fan, if you know what I'm saying. But okay. Taking care of the thing. It's not around 1937, okay, because this is different footage from different stages of it. But people took over schools, took over workplaces all over, including industrial and farms. And they were trading with each other. There were little localities, little places. So I'm going to show you how it happened and how it worked, this was actually working. So let's play a little bit of it and see how it goes.
Casi todo el mundo dice que es una utopía, ¿no? Es la única cosa que podría salvar el mundo.
Almost everybody says this was an utopia, but it was the only thing that could save the world. That's the first sentence of the bat. And this is the CNT AIT.
Anarquía. Es lo más bonito que hay. Cada cual, trabajar todo el mundo, ni amos ni patrones.
Anarchy is the most beautiful thing there is. What? Oh shit. Played an ad. Anarchy is the most beautiful thing there is, it said. And that's probably the voice of, honestly, a lot of the issues people forget is that fascists have an entire world system that supports them materially and immaterially. And I think a lot of people talk about the Spanish Civil War without going through that. Yeah, definitely. You got to put things in context. And, the system that has the fascists that supports fascism, it's more a house of cards than anything. If you tear down their ideology, everything else falls apart. Because bosses, and Johnny the Su en la casa, welcome. And I was explaining, that fascism and the capitalist system, it's a little bit of a house of cards, because it's not legitimate it's not materially legitimate. Like we, the working class, are the ones who keep the world running. We don't need them. If one day we all, or most of us, decide not to support them anymore, they have nothing to fight with. But of course, we have to persuade the military, the police, and the ones with the guns. But if the ones with the guns also understand that we don't need them, then they have nothing on us. That's what I'm trying to say. Just as much of a failure of ML as a leftist and non-leftist ideology. It was an alliance between... labels be labels. Ideologies are there to serve. They all have a fantastic... The leftist ideas have all fantastic points. They all have great... they all have really, really good, ideas that we can use. But it's more like it's a toolbox. We cannot stick to a brand and say, this is what works globally. You need to open your eyes, see the conditions around the place where you are, where you operate / live, see how the things are, what we need to throw down, what we need to rebuild, and what we need to keep, and try to act upon it with the tools that we have at our disposal. But we cannot leave, maybe positivism, but generally we cannot dismiss anything of the bad. Even anarcho-primitivism that is like, whoa, but come on, climate change is upon us, motherfuckers. So, slowing down the growth, or even figuring out how to stop growing altogether before, until we find a way to grow without hurting, our general conditions, the planet, the ecosystem, the nature that supports us, even though we grow all our artificial environments. Not bad at all. You need to throw away the bullshit, the noble savage bullshit and so on. Definitely. But there's a point there to be found and to be useful in certain circumstances. That's what I'm trying to say. That I think I listened a lot to Carlos Taibo, professor, anarchist, and a little bit of an anarcho-primitivist without saying so. But it's about stopping the crazy ass growth that we have right now in the industrial world, and say whoa, we're killing it, all right. So okay, so this is how they work for themselves. So let's keep on going. But it was more or less, anarchy is the most beautiful in the world. That's where we left it. Sorry.
Confederación Nacional del Trabajo. El sindicato anarco-sindicalista, al inicio de los acontecimientos revolucionarios del 36, unía a 1 millón de trabajadores.
La CNT es el intento de los obreros de organizarse para conseguir económica y socialmente una sociedad mejor.
So they had like 1 million affiliated people at the CNT. And this guy who's talking off camera is saying that the CNT was the best way to organize to get a better society. That was what they were going for back in 1936. And that's what was happening. It was happening at the same time that the Republic government was a little bit unstable, but getting there, and the left-leaning was the agrarian reform, which was the countryside, they were reforming it, making it happen, So at the same time, people were collectivizing workplaces and standing up to their bosses. And because they had 1 fucking million affiliates in Spain in 1936. which is like crazy.
Dentro de la cual a un poco largo plazo está la autogestión, o sea, la capacidad obrera para asumir todas las funciones que ahora tiene el Estado.
So he's talking about autogestión, which is self-management, self-management of the working class, which is basically getting rid of your boss. We're going to go in detail how these people are organized. But there's the basic ingredient here is personal responsibility, in which, people understood and people did everything they could to help the project, because the project was a clear win for the people, considering what they had to live with. Now, consider what we have to live with, and who do we have to get rid of, and not personally, but which structures and which relationships we need to get rid of. Let's think about Professor Rachel Wolf telling us over and over and over again about the employer-employee relationships, right? So, moving on.
O sea, sustituir al Estado.
It's about replacing the state, basically. Replacing the state, but replacing also, in the workplace, replacing in the social relationships. And in a way, what these people were making, inadvertently, was a different type of state. And it's good, because it's a type of state that we haven't known in our lifetimes, because all states that we have known in our lifetimes have been oppressive, awful. Some old white people make laws to defend the property of other old white men, and the rest of us can fuck ourselves. It's forbidden to disturb their business. And that is so many levels of wrong, right? So, moving on.
¿Qué significa comunismo libertario? ¿Qué querían los proletarios españoles? Al contrario del comunismo de Estado, que está basado en la gestión estatal de la vida económica y social, es decir, en la burocracia omnipotente que actúa o dice actuar en nombre del proletariado.
This is important. She says, what is a libertarian communism? And she says something along the lines that, it is a way to organize the workers themselves and replacing the state instead of the model that is supporting of the state centralized economy, or state, let's say, state centralized social order that says acts in the name of the proletariat, or at least it says it does, which is, I think it's key to understand, how things may have gone a little bit wrong in that area in the Soviet Union back in the day, because everything that was good in the Soviet Union, there was a few downsides there. And it was probably that instead of going for more democracy, like it was intended at the beginning, they were going for less and less and less and less and less. And that was a problem, right? So, moving on.
Que desembocan necesariamente en tiranía absoluta.
Yeah, she says that these state-centralized economies and societies, they basically end up in absolute tyranny anyway.
El comunismo libertario se basa en la autoorganización por el proletariado de toda su vida.
Libertarian communism, don't confuse with the fake libertarian from the United States, which is bullshit. But libertarian communism, and we coined the fucking term, all right? So they don't deserve it. It's not for them. Fuck you, right-wingers. Really, fuck off. And she said that libertarian communism, it's about the self-organization of the people in all aspects of life. All aspects of life. So nobody sets your foot on your face anymore, basically.
El anarcosindicalismo es el medio por el cual los propios obreros, junto con los técnicos, autogestionan las fábricas, decidiendo en todos los aspectos los problemas de la producción.
Anarcho-syndicalism is a way in which all the workers, along with the technicians, self-manage the factories, controlling themselves the means of production.
El federalismo es el medio de unión entre fábricas afines y complementarias.
Federalism is the way of joining complementary and similar or let's say afines. It's factories that go well with each other basically. So they have an affinity, right? So they organize federally. So internally they organize democratically, and externally with each other, the factories they organize federally.
Las comunas agrícolas son el medio para la realización de la libertad y la igualdad entre los campesinos.
The communal farms are the organization of freedom and liberty amongst the peasants, the farmers. And all the images you're seeing, it's liberated Barcelona back in the, or most of them, back in the 1930s and 1936, 1937s. It's the magical year in which, Barcelona was absolutely liberated for, everything was for the people and from the people, basically. You'll see a lot of stuff.
Comunas, a su vez, federadas entre sí.
Yeah, these communes, the farming communes are also federated with each other, basically.
Los intercambios entre ciudad y campo, entre país y resto del mundo, vienen regulados a través de comités de aprovisionamiento y de comités de comercio exterior.
So exchanges between cities and countryside, and between the country and abroad, they are organized by commissions, democratic commissions of inside trade and outside trade, basically. Provisioning and inside trade and outside trade. There are democratic elected commissions that regulate the commerce between inside the country and outside the country, basically.
Se construye así una nueva sociedad que parte de lo más simple para llegar a lo más complejo, que parte de abajo y se autoorganiza, es decir, una sociedad sin Estado.
So that's how you make a society that departs from itself. I'm gonna go back because I forgot.
Es de comités de aprovisionamiento y de comités de comercio exterior. Se construye así una nueva sociedad que parte de lo más simple.
Therefore, that's how you build a new society that departs from the most simple things
para llegar a lo más complejo.
To get to the most complex.
Abajo y se autoorganiza.
Coming from below and self-organized.
Es decir, una sociedad sin Estado.
Meaning a stateless society.
Efecto.
That's right.
Todas las funciones tradicionalmente desempeñadas por el Estado son asumidas por el proletariado.
So all the functions that are traditionally done by the state are acquired or are functioned by the proletariat right now, by the people, by the workers. Yeah, one day Barcelona will be free again. Hopefully, one day the world would be free again. I don't know if we're going to see it in our lifetime, but let's make it happen, okay? Let's keep working for it, right?
El ejército, abolido, es sustituido por el pueblo en armas.
They abolished the army and they replaced it by the people up in arms. That meant the militias that were self-organized, and they were also federated. Everything, more or less everything, is... Hola, Victor. Hola, Vic. Welcome. Everything was self-organized in smaller cells and then federated. That was like more or less the basic gist of it, all right?
Las milicias voluntarias. Los ministerios suprimidos son sustituidos por la Federación de los Productores.
So they suppressed we talked about the army being replaced by the militias, by voluntary militias, and the ministries are replaced by these federations and all the councils that they make.
Autonomía local de los productores y federalismo. Solidaridad y autodisciplina.
Solidarity and self-discipline, and that's a very key. That's self-discipline, we're talking about Barcelona. Y tranquilo, que no pasa nada, que llegues tarde, que esto luego se graba y se pone, pero estamos hablando de los anarquistas viviendo en anarquía, la autogestión obrera, estamos poniendo ahora mismo para hablar en el concepto, sorry about the Spanish, I really gotta, para hablar en el contexto de la responsabilidad personal y la responsabilidad colectiva.
En lugar de leyes. Policías y magistrados, autonomía local de los productores y federalismo. Solidaridad y autodisciplina en lugar de leyes.
Yeah, solidarity and self-discipline instead of law. And that's what we need to aim for, but we need to transition for, because right now, and that's why we can start working on self-discipline right now, because as of today, we have really fucked up minds. We have been educated to compete with each other, not to be, good to each other, not to be positive to each other. So this is fucking homework, people. And I mean it. I do mean it. This is homework. This is so necessary. So, if we are to get rid of the unjust and awful laws that we have to cope with right now, we need to really replace it with self-discipline and personal responsibility, really getting, being a positive influence to the world, but not in a hippy-dippy way, but in a material and concrete way. Organize with your people. And yes, Del Dragones, learning Spanish is a good thing. Really, 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 really. I'm going to stream some Spanish lessons, Spanish 101 for internet dweebs like us, okay? Well, we need no laws when we are all responsible. And it's true that there will be someone who may screw up, but we can deal with it ourselves. We don't need the police. We don't need the army. I would go for pillow fight to the death. If a president wants to fight another president, they fight it to the death with pillows. And they leave us alone, the people, to live our lives. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's a bit of a meme, like Chad would say. It's a bit of a meme, but moving on.
Policías y magistrados sustituidos por la vigilancia revolucionaria de los trabajadores.
Yeah, I got ahead of the thing, but police and magistrates replaced by the vigilance of the workers.
En las regiones libres, la solidaridad entre la ciudad y los pueblos se organiza rápidamente. Las colectividades se reúnen en federaciones cantonales que practican el apoyo mutuo y que hacen todo cuanto está en su mano para contrarrestar las injusticias de la naturaleza.
There you go. Farmers supporting each other. When there's a bad year, there's a drought, or there's something, another farmer will step up and, give you mutual aid. If there's a bad year or you're in trouble, some comrade will come and help you out. Who needs the fucking government with this? But again, eventually, and this happened in very specific circumstances, but when we ourselves, build ourselves towards solidarity, towards helping each other, towards really, really, really affecting a positive thing, a positive change in our community, that's when we're doing a key part of the revolution. Because if our comrades, who are stronger and are more savvy with weapons, they take over the army and they dismantle them and they burn the Winter Palace, it's up to us who are left behind to rebuild the new world and not fall into the same shitty trap of selfishness and bullshit, of competitiveness and backstabbing and whatnot, if you know what I mean. So yes, and at the first, few years, we'll still have a government, because let's be realistic, we're fucked. We're really fucked. Like, our mindsets are not ready for this. But these people were ready for this. And we need to understand why these people were ready for this. And we need to understand how to work, from the point where we are now, which is not the point that they were then, but we need to work the basics of how to be responsible both personally and collective, like these people that were working their asses to change their society. And they succeeded. It doesn't mean that there was no problems. Of course there were problems, and we'll see it later on in the video. I'm gonna probably split it in half. But this is people taking matters into hands, and this is something that we need to see in the world. And moving on.
Obteniendo para los pueblos menos favorecidos maquinaria y suministros.
Yeah, they were giving there was a village that was a little bit, harmed by bad luck or whatever. They were helping with machinery and supplies. Like, if somebody's having a rough time in a village nearby, the other villages would step up and help.
Es interesante observar también la ayuda que proporciona una región a otra en la organización de la colectividad.
Again, between regions,
Hasta
the same.
julio de 1937, alrededor de 1000 miembros de los colectivos del Levante se fueron a vivir a Castilla para ayudar y aconsejar a los compañeros con la experiencia adquirida en la propia colectividad.
People from hundreds of kilometers away, they moved to another region, to help their comrades. With this responsibility project, And Vika, I need to read your comment. It took almost 30 years of work, education, and spread these ideas, so they were ready to get shit done in 36. Absolutely. These people were organized and throwing newspapers out. They were throwing so many newspapers. There were more newspapers, that anarchist newspapers, than newspapers of any other ideology put together. These people were really engaged into educating people. Right now, educating people is fucked up because there's a lot of noise. There's too much noise. Everybody's chasing the latest consumer object out there. And everybody's like chasing after their own tails. So we need to figure out how to deprogram people. That was a little bit of a George Clinton reference, actually. Deprogram and reprogram. But no program, More like, help each other. Things get better. It's so fucking basic. But still, there are so many layers we have to peel off of the neoliberal bullshit mindset. So we need to get to work. We need to get to be like these people. More or less. Okay. Thank you, Vic. I'm trying my best. It's our duty to put these things out there, because we really need a new world, because the one that we have is not working. It's certainly not working. So what do? Okay, let's get rid of this shit of the neoliberal mindset bullshit, and let's work on this responsibility. That sounds, when you live under a capitalist world, you think about this responsibility, go like, oh man, another chore. And it's like, fuck no. If you take upon you to help others, others will take upon them to help you. And everybody helps each other, and everybody fucking wins. Everybody has a quality, wonderful life. Don't we have enough problems in our everyday just to make it more difficult, fighting each other so we can benefit, the right wing and the capitalists who are absolute ghouls? I mean, they're, functionally, they're ghouls, but they're poor. Most of them are poor people in denial that are just following the mind tricks of a few sociopaths. But, we'll get there. We need to peel off the layers of bullshit that our heads are covered in. The consumerism, the selfishness, the backstabbing, all that shit, that needs to go. It needs to go yesterday. So, yeah, sorry about, sense of emergency and everything. But you know what I'm saying. Let's keep watching. I'll keep translating.
Estos campesinos tuvieron la inteligencia de aplicar a todos los delegados la regla por la cual, en una colectividad bien organizada, nadie debe dejar de ser campesino. En otras palabras.
So these peasants took upon themselves to organize, to say that to get to the agreement that every campesino, every farmer who is not who is organized does never stop being a farmer. No matter how much, many extra responsibilities you take upon yourself, you're still a farmer. So you still act and work and function as a farmer. And he was saying in other words, let's see if he puts it more succinctly.
Los delegados deben continuar trabajando en los campos como los demás.
Yeah, the delegates need to still keep working. It's like some trade unions, they take like delegates who just work as delegates, and they just do office work, and they don't work anymore in the jobs, so they kind of lose touch. By the way, hola Franglish, aló, ¿cómo ça va? So yeah.
Las colectividades agrícolas no eran estructuras rígidas. Fueron la manifestación espontánea de gentes castigadas por una indescriptible pobreza. Pero
they were these agricultural collectivities. They were collectives, collectivities. Call them. I don't know if there's a word for that in English. It's very specific in Spanish. But all of these collectivities. They were not rigid structures. So they adapted to the reality, and they were basically composed of people who were poor, like they were the poorest people on the planet. A farmer or a peasant in the 1930s Spain was it was really, 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 really bad.
Que conservaban un espíritu de rebeldía y un sentido de justicia que dieron su fruto cuando llegó el momento.
Again, two key points here: the sense of the spirit of rebel spirit, and a sense of justice. There were people with very high ethical standards. We cannot. Fundación Anselmo Lorenzo, yeah. Definitely should go to Anselmo Lorenzo Foundation. It's a CNT dependent. I was thinking about it before COVID-19, and then COVID-19 happened and they fucked us up. But I'll do my homework, I swear. Just give me some time, because I'm a little bit depressed. So making things happen, it takes effort. Just getting out of bed is like a victory right now. But we're doing this, and that was a very good suggestion that you made. Muy buena idea, tío, porque he pensado en hacerlo unas cuantas veces. So también saldremos de esta. We'll get out of this one, Vic. We're both a little bit down. Shit's hit the fan, people. But don't worry, we'll live. We'll get better. Yeah, we're working class. We don't have an option. Giving up is not an option. That's it. Giving up is not an option. And it's fucked up. And we have to go through all the mud. But we'll go through. Moving on.
Porque asumieron la iniciativa. En muchas colectividades se abolió el dinero. Y en muchas otras se acuñó moneda local que servía únicamente como bonos de cambio.
So, basically says like they took the initiative. They took it upon themselves. And in some collectivities, they abolished money altogether. And some of them, they coined their own currency that was only for exchange. It had no financial, artifacts behind it, because money is fucked up. Money is a system of control, basically. So there's that. But we're living under it. I mean, we don't have an option. I have to beg, for Patreon or Ko-fi money anyway, because I don't even have a job. I'm so fucked. Anyway, but that's the me, the ego. Fuck the me, and let's go to the us, because this matter most.
En casi todas fue aplicado el principio de anarquía. A cada uno según sus necesidades, y de cada cual según su trabajo. Solidaridad.
Again, Twitch. It was most of these communes. They took upon themselves the anarchist principle, and it was like to each from each according to their ability, to each according to their needs. That was translated a little bit different in Spanish, but now it's going to talk about Solidaridad Obrera, the paper you see on the screen. That was like one of the biggest anarchist papers in the 1930s that still kind of exist, actually. And does it? I mean, there's an organization called Solidaridad Obrera, for sure, La Soli, but that's a different thing.
Obrera, el diario anarcosindicalista, alcanza los 300.000 ejemplares de tirada.
300,000, wow, that 300,000 papers they were releasing every time. So yeah, Solidaridad Obrera was very big, considering, again, the context. Spain, 1936, 1937. Very, 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 very big, considering the things. Right now, 30,000 subscribers. I mean, I don't have them because I'm very exquisite. But any mainstream YouTuber has them, so fuck that shit. Anyway, yeah. Consider the reach that we have right now, and it's a little bit of a paradox, actually, because we have a lot of reach. We can reach out a lot of people with these materials, but at the same time, a lot of other people are going to reach out to those people with their materials. There's a lot of noise. Discerning, going through the noise with it's very fucked up. Yeah, all of this during the fascist takeover, it was more like a war, and at that time they were kind of losing, and it was until they got basically. I mean, the Italian support was big. They paid the fascists paid for it's a war. During the war effort, the fascists took a lot of support from the Italians and the Germans. Under ugly mustache, bad at watercolor guy, and yeah. It was a coup d'etat, basically, and the fascists had a lot of powerful donors, and they gave them a shit ton of money to hire mercenaries from Northern Africa. They were called the Moors, Los Moros, and they basically did like a scorched earth tactics. So they went to every little village, killed, raped, massacred, move on. They were trying to terrorize people, basically. And Then the Germans gave support, air support, and then the bombs started falling. It started falling on Barcelona, Madrid. They did the massacre at Guernica that inspired the Picasso painting. That was if you've never been in front of that painting. It overwhelms you emotionally. It is, yeah. In Ciudad Real, they burned a house with half the family in it. There you go. The more mercenaries, probably, right? Yeah. They were cruel. They were actually, it was. They weren't respecting, say, quote unquote, the rules of engagement, in which you only engage combatants, and which was still a thing in the early 20th century. But they were practicing scorched earth and terrorizing the population. It was fucked up. But let's go back to subject, because if we start talking about this, we're gonna be here forever. We're gonna be here forever. Let's face it, but more forever, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, moving on. Don't worry about these people, they're taking a nap, okay?
Regularmente al frente. Es leído y discutido por los milicianos que permanecen ante todo revolucionarios.
So that's the front lines. They're taking a nap and taking a rest, and they say that Solidaridad Obrera, the newspaper, it comes regularly to the front. We'll see later some of the stuff that these milicianos ate, and milicianas, which is, it was one of the first mixed armies, I guess, also in modern age.
Trabajadores armados y no mercenarios.
Yeah, which is a basic distinction. And as I tell you, well, what do you know? I told you before about the Moors and the mercenaries they hired, because they were rich and shit. And yeah, you saw it in the Pompidou Museum? Oh, Okay, now it's in Reina Sofia here in Madrid. So if you want to go see it, it's always super crowded, to be honest. If you go like on a weekday or something, and there are no groups of tourists in it, but it's fucked up. It's huge, and it's overwhelming. The emotion in it, you know. I'm an art freak, so maybe that's me. But yeah, going back, it was making like the distinction that the militias were made by volunteer working class people, while you know, the fascists were using mercenaries from Northern Africa that were extremely cruel. I was in Paris when I was 16, but I'm old as rocks. So Paris is probably it's like Theseus' boat. It's probably in a different city now. Okay, moving on.
En Barcelona, la revolución ha llegado a la cultura también.
Revolution in the culture.
Pintores, poetas, músicos llevan a las plazas sus propias obras.
Painters,
La
poets,
fiebre
musicians.
revolucionaria ha modificado la vida cotidiana de los barceloneses.
And they take it to the square, and you know, and everybody can enjoy it. And you see the crowd of people there in Barcelona. Well, that's probably Plaza Catalunya, if I'm not mistaken. That's fucking huge.
El concierto termina con el himno revolucionario de los anarquistas españoles, Hijos del Pueblo.
This is fucking beautiful. A mí también se me saltan las lágrimas. Esto es maravilla. Shit. Goosebumps.
El pueblo de Bujaraloz es liberado y se convertirá, gracias a su posición, en el centro operativo de la columna Durruti.
La columna.
So this is Bujaraloz. It's a small village, and they just liberated it, and it's going to become the operative center of the column, the Durruti column. And yeah, this is an example of liberated people. Right? You just saw Barcelona full on liberated, full on established, full on working, and people, you know, joining the joy in the streets. Of course, it's I mean, take it with a pinch of salt too. Like it's a propaganda movie, but that show happened and those people enjoyed it. Doesn't mean, you know, they didn't have problems, but problems were solved by the people themselves. That's the thing. It's not, you know, this is great to create joy and enthusiasm, but we need to really hit the hammer on the point that all of this can happen because of personal responsibility, and it's not magic. It's not the end of the game. Every fucking day we need to take care of our lives, and we need to help our people. We need to practice that solidarity, that sense of justice, that sense of ethics that made these things possible. So if you know, think about doing that right now, it's like, what are we going to do with this? Because right now we're not in the same place that Spain was in 1936. Right now we're in a place where everything is consumerism and bullshit. Everyone's addicted to something. Everyone is addicted to something. And everyone is miserable and unhappy. And everybody is, you know, it's backstabbing each other and fighting each other for bullshit, for things that don't have like big stakes anyway. So how can we peel off those layers and convince the people again that if we are good to each other, that we engage in solidarity, that we take upon ourselves and upon our comrades to help each other, to enable each other, to that's one of the vectors from which a revolution can push, because people are gonna be convinced that that is the way to go. But right now we're competing against each other. We're at each other's throats all the time. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Love each other. Help someone today. Help someone tomorrow. Help someone every day. Do something for someone every fucking day. And let others do something for you too. And you know, mutual support is not a catchphrase. It's supporting each other. It's being attentive to each other and being there for each other. And it's not a catchphrase. It's something that we have to do every fucking day, and we need to educate people to do every single day. Let's move on with the movie because I'm ranting.
Se organiza en grupos, luego en centurias y estas en agrupaciones.
Yeah, it's the militia, the thank you bro for appreciating my rant. I guess, you know, sometimes you gotta. I'm not as good as Silver Spook, who is a fantastic ranter, who has all the good points, and you gotta listen to that like you want to cheer. No, I mispronounced. It's not. I didn't say man or something. I meant mean, but I gotta. You know, when you gotta handle a mouth, a tongue like this wide inside your mouth is like. You know, it's not enough space for that shit to move on inside it. Inside of them. Okay, I'm digressing. Silver Spook is awesome, and we all should check him out and subscribe. I'm subscribed, but if you all aren't, which I doubt, just check Silver Spook in every single rant, and check his video game, which is called it's absolute cyberpunk. Yeah, Silver Spook is the base. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's true. I'm not a native English speaker. I've spoken a bit of English throughout my life, though, so, you know. But, yeah. yeah, definitely. Neophyte is awesome. The Neophyte 2 is on the way, I think, if it's not out there already. I'm not a gamer, but I've seen the trailers, and I've seen some gameplay, and it's good stuff. I'm not a gamer, I'm sorry. I'm not into games. I don't know what am I even doing here on Egghead's platform, but fuck that shit. We're talking about anarchism and revolutions. And, you know, again, disclaimer, I'm not an anarchist. I don't know all the shit. I'm just trying to figure things out together with, you know, we're all trying to figure things out together. I'm winging it, and whoever tells you they're absolutely right and they're not winging it, they're lying to you. Really. But let's keep on winging it, okay?
No hay oficiales ni suboficiales, sino delegados electos.
Yeah, because it's formed in militias, and it's formed like in groups, and then centurias. I don't know how you say centurias in Spanish, but groups of 100 people, and then into columns. And there are no officers or sub-officers. Everything is, democratically elected. You're right, Vic.
A las familias de los milicianos se les entrega el salario por parte de los compañeros de trabajo que permanecen en Barcelona, autogestionando las fábricas. Los milicianos son bien acogidos por la población.
So the militia is supported by the people in the factories and in the countryside. You know, they provide food and you know, logistics, and they keep on fighting the good fight.
Un orador de la milicia les explica que la tierra es de quien la trabaja.
So there's this guy. I'm gonna go back.
Por la población.
This guy over here, he's explaining people in the village that the land belongs to those who work it. So he's probably trying to explain to people that they're able to organize differently, and they're probably gonna, because it's a good thing for them. So it's not about making people do things, but convincing people that doing things that way is better.
Un orador de la milicia les explica que la tierra es de quien la trabaja, que la milicia protege a los trabajadores y prohíbe la explotación del hombre por el hombre.
So the militia protects the workers and prohibits the exploitation of men by men, or person by person, because, you know, it was the 1930s. Men was default for men and women and non-binary folks. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I've done a little bit of a Trekkie 69 right now. Damn it, we spend a lot of time together. Not enough, actually. But, you know, Trekkie's got to study now, so... Land and Freedom, Tierra y Libertad, right, by Ken Loach. Yeah, that story. That was a great movie. Tierra y Libertad was by Ken Loach. I saw it in the movies. I've been to several meetings, and forums around the movie and so on. I think one of them had Iciar Boyain in it. And it was a great movie by the time. I think most of the story is kind of. I know, and there's not an opinion. It's a comparison I made. With the book Homage to Catalonia by George Orwell. It's more or less the same story, but it creates like the romance there, so it makes it a little bit more interesting. But it's basically about the Partido Obrero de Unificación Marxista, the poem that was prosecuted by the communists. Well, not really the communists. I mean, to be honest, orders came from up high, and there was like a socialist party, PSOE, the Partido Socialista. Even back then, they were traitors. Never trust a liberal. When there's a revolution happening, take liberals out of power for sure. Yeah. It was very fucked up, as you say. It was a conspiracy. It was a shit conspiracy from shit people who are doing shit things. Why do you throw some brave militians? People who are your comrades in the brig and execute their leader, which is quote unquote leader, because they were more or less anarchistic, and they were really one of those parties that were like in the middle point between Marxism and anarchism. And it was awful. It was awful. It was people more concerned with power, and from what Orwell says, I'm not really sure that's a fact, but Orwell says that those orders came from Moscow. That never trust a liberal, Franglish, definitely. And it's apparently. Orwell says, and I'm not going to take Orwell's word as face value, right? But that more or less it was like it was orders that came from Stalin, because Stalin had geopolitical interests, considering the rise of the party of the brown shirt party. The movie shows that a nice scene in which the main protagonists arrive at a village in Aragon. The whole meeting, the whole assembly, and the workers, the peasants talking to each other, like trying to organize each other. That's a beautiful depiction of what could be like people in the gathering in the assembly. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was amazing. And you can see like those people are probably real, But yeah, I mean, apparently Stanley. Mustache guy, rather epic mustache guy, was trying not to get bad mustache guy pissed off, and was trying also to appease the United States and the UK by keeping Spain as a liberal democracy as it was before the uprising. But they definitely miscalculated, because killing people who are fighting in the front lines is not going to help defeat the fascists. But then again, let's move on, because this topic really cracks my gear.
La tierra será trabajada de forma colectiva o individual, según la libre decisión de cada uno.
So everybody has a choice to work the land either collectively or individually. And don't be sorry about the tangents. They're very relevant tangents. Don't worry about it, Vic. I got your back. I know this, and I'm gonna apologize again to the people in the chat, because speaker to chat relationship is fucking awful. Like, it's very asymmetrical. I wish you all could be like here on headphones with me, or here in the room with me. You know what I mean? Because this is fucking asymmetric. So please, I'm sorry for that. I'm trying to compensate by giving you all of the goodness in the world. I'm here with you to the best of my ability, and I'm sorry if I dominate this conversation, because it's the way the medium is done. But I listen, I read you carefully and lovingly. So please don't, it sucks. This asymmetrical thing, I fucking hate it. I wish we could all be hanging in a big ass couch or something, just watching the documentary. We could be just talking, and chatting and having a good time. But no, I kind of feel like I have to. This is a fucking asymmetrical way of doing things. It's not good. It's what we have. Okay, sorry about that, and let's move on. Let's see more good stuff. So people had their choice, to work their land individually or collectively if they agreed. People could talk about it, but people were basically free to do what they wanted with their land. But this freedom in a capitalist mindset frame, say, it's a little bit like I do whatever I want at random, whatever I please, and you go and grab your genitals, whichever genitals you have, and piss on everything you want, and you don't care, right? But freedom in this context means let's be responsible and make it better for everyone. So they talk to each other with all the charity in the world, with all the goodwill in the world, and that's important. That's the personal responsibility thing. If these people were in 21st century people on the internet, and they say organize your Twitch server or your Discord server however you want, there's got to be all kinds of shitty behaviors on people. Most people are not going to give a fuck. That's the first. They're not going to get involved. Then communication is going to be shitty because there's going to be egos and bullshit, and we've all been through that, right? Trying to organize with people online, it's fucked up because most people don't know what to do, and it's fine. I don't know what to do most of the time. And when I get involved in a big ass project and I get into a Discord server and 7 notifications of everyone, and I get like, I get overwhelmed. It's fine, That's why, real life is better than online. Online sucks. But, we're here online to teach you that, not teach you. Teach is very asymmetrical. But to tell you, like, honestly, from our hearts, from our potatoes here, saying, yo, oh, you're out of spoons. Don't worry, Dragoness. Have a good one. Have a good one and rest and be fantastic. And sending a lot of love, querida. Have a good one. Mwah. Stay awesome. We love you. So, back to the topic. Sorry about that. Yes, you need to take care of the good people, and I love it. I don't think I shouldn't even be sorry about that. I'm sorry about the asymmetry of this relationship with the people in the chat because it sucks. You're all typing there, and I'm here talking my ass off, and that sucks. But I'm here for you, okay? I'm here with you. I'm here for you. That's what I mean to say. But, this personal responsibility, we need to really spread the word. Not like religious people, but convincing people that it's the right way to act. You go out there in real life and talk to people and organize together. You don't need a set of rules. The only set of rules that you need is your own capacity to think, in a charitable way, in a good way, with a mindset that is like, okay, how are we going to fix this for everyone? And if your idea fails, don't be sorry about it. We tried. We move on to the next. We do better. We keep doing better. That's trial and error is the way of life as well, So let's just do it, okay? Just, sorry about more ranting. That's what you're here for, right? ranting. Alrighty.
Con el avance de las columnas, avanza también la revolución en el campo. El abastecimiento es proporcionado a la milicia directamente por los campesinos. En el transcurso de pocos meses, gran parte de los campos de Aragón, Levante y Cataluña serán trabajados en un régimen colectivista espontáneo. Casi 3 millones de campesinos se organizan en 1.700 colectividades autogestionadas.
So, a big territory was covered here. It's, I don't know, how do you... 2/3 of Spain. If you see the size of Spain, that was Aragon, Levante. Levante is like Valencia, up from Murcia all the way to and Catalonia. It was 1/3 of the Spanish territory. It's big numbers, and farmers supporting the militias and everybody working together to defeat fascism, which, we couldn't defeat it because of the backstabbing of the ones who wanted to rule, social democratic pieces of shit, and the powers outside of Spain who were really, really pulling strings to fuck things up. Also, when the guy with the bad mustache who was really bad at watercolor, who got dumped of the art school, fuck you, man. It's not your thing. I mean, you tried, but fuck you. You don't have to become an asshole because of that, right? But when they came in with their technology that they tested for later using in World War II, and it was like top of the line technology, and the Spanish aviation were using all the propeller planes. You've ever seen, I think, that cartoon Archer? There's one of the later seasons. He's using a Republican typical airplane. It was like one of those that were practically made of paper, and these motherfuckers, they come with all this stuka bullshit. The fighters and the bombers, and yeah, definitely, and a lot of American industrialists were backing them up. It's when all the jingoistic propaganda of the United States, were like, offer socialist solutions to your community's problems. Let the solutions dictate the persuasion into socialism without any preaching involved. Yeah, I mean, you gotta communicate, but let's, you take one issue at a time and just, how do we fix this? You ask people, how do we fix this? And by doing this, let's try it. It may or may not work, but it's worth trying, which is like the minimum you gotta do. It cannot get worse than late stage capitalism that we're living now. It cannot get worse, for real. But it was very clear that the Republicans prefer fascism over anarchy. I think it was a power grab. It's not, favoring one ideology towards the other. It was like, it was a mix of things. It was so super complex. I would say, from what I know, which is not a lot, but I've documented myself. I read a few things, Orwell points out that the geopolitical thing, that there was this interest to make bread with the United States, actually, by in keeping a one of those moderated democracies, quote unquote, voting systems, Western democracy type of Western democracy TM type of order, government, so they could appease the United States basically. And but there's also the power grab, the people who had ministries in the first few governments of the Republic, who really held office and they were afraid to lose their job. So it's a mix of motivations, I would say. But sorry. Moving on, the militia was supported by the peasants. The peasants were protected by the militia. Everybody was working together. The territories were being liberated all the way. That was the fucking revolution. And it worked like a charm.
Según criterios igualitarios, sin patronos ni burócratas.
Egalitarian criteria, no owners, no bureaucrats, as well as using troops and tanks against peasants rather than Franco's troops. Yeah, it sucked. It was a stab in the back. The Republican state denied resources and weapons to libertarian troops. Yeah, people were fighting with 18th century, locket rifles. Those that you have to manually. They failed. Like I remember, I think it was in Homage to Catalonia, but also I think in Tierra y Libertad there's a scene where there's like a young kid, like 16-year-old kid, that dies because of one of the rifle fails, which is absolutely ripped off from the book Homage to Catalonia, in which he mentioned like more people were killed in the Zaragoza front, in the Ebro front. They were shooting at each other from 700-meter distance or something like that. It's crazy far away. So more people were killed by faulty weaponry than by enemy bullets, because nobody was hitting anybody. Yeah.
Un enorme experimento popular de comunismo libertario.
De Barcelona continúan saliendo columnas de voluntarios, y también de Valencia.
So columns of volunteers keep coming out of Barcelona and Valencia. There was a libertarian experiment, like libertarian, again, not the fasci libertarian bullshit that those absolute ding-dongs from the United States are trying to recuperate the word for themselves. This is libertarian, motherfuckers. Check it out. These people, these brave people. And guess what? They're fucking communist, you piece of shit. That's another McCarthyism and bullshit that has permeated worldwide. Communism is not the fucking Soviet Union, you pieces of pencils. You're not really sharp. Communism is the people owning the means of production, is installing socialism and more levels of democracy until people don't need no money, no state, and there are no classes that are in conflict with each other. So people live in peace and harmony. It may take 100 years to get there, but you gotta start, motherfucker. And you gotta start, and you know, the path towards communism doesn't have to be through suffering. It could be through improving everybody's lives, conditions, gradually, at the fastest pace possible, you know, but installing more and more solutions to the current problems of society. So that's fucking communism. It's not that bad, is it? Pieces of shit. Ah, sorry. They're very disingenuous. I don't even know. I mean, I'm not explaining this to fucking Danish Prager or whatever. I'm explaining this to people who are seduced by these fuckers, who are absolutely disingenuous, who are out there to get these people and, you know, have them root for the motherfuckers who are oppressing them. You know, the Jeff Bezos and the Koch brother and you know, the other Zuckerberg whatever, you know? Those are your fucking enemies, you idiot. Not, sorry about the ableist lure. I got carried away. Those are your fucking enemies, you absolute unsharp little piece of crayon. Okay? Sorry about the fuck. I try not to. I try not to. But how can you know, depict the dishonesty and the evil of the right wing, you know, defending those who are oppressing everybody? We want to help. We're here to help. We are here to help. We are here to fix things. The left is not your enemy. Anyway, sorry about this. Another rant. Oh, come on. How many rants per second should we?
Liberada después de 2 semanas de asedio a los cuarteles por los obreros revolucionarios. La acción conjunta de todas las milicias obreras.
Yeah, sorry. It changes documentaries and so on. But yeah, the joint action of all the urban militias, you know, they liberated the city, and they were going out to the front lines. Basically, that's what they were depicting.
De tráfico y son muestra gallarda de cómo el proletariado ha encaucado la vida de la ciudad.
So this is people taking over the city. And that's bread. Those are loaves of bread over there on the top of the truck.
El comité.
The committee. Sorry, I feel like the lector. You know, very not dispassionate lector, but yes, trabaja y lucha por la revolución, camarada. You know, the lector is it's a Polish thing. I think it's in many countries, but I lived in Poland and I know what it is because of Poland. It's they show the original movie at a kind of low volume, and there's a guy reading everything with a very neutral voice all the time. Reading all the roles. Doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man, or if they're passionate or dispassionate. He reads very neutral, all of the voices, all the time, on top of the original soundtrack, which is a lot of fun. Sorry about that. But yeah, Liberated Barcelona, people. Take a look.
Centenares de empleados trabajan activamente.
It made a cut, but it says that in the big offices of this big building, there are hundreds of employees who are working like frantically. And that's the thing. Nobody lost their jobs when the revolution happened. Nobody lost their jobs. That's fundamental. People organized to keep their jobs and even employ more people who were unemployed, to keep production up and to give more to the public. They were giving to the public because the public was giving them back what they needed. There's no need for the capitalist trade bullshit. There is absolutely no need. It's a myth. It's a tale. We're in a prison that we ourselves keep. Let's check that other poster. Oh, contra el matanismo militar, la fuerza invencible del proletariado. Against the military bullying, the invincible force of the proletariat. Wonderful. Anyway, these people, hard at work. I mean, it's awfully busy.
Uno de los locales habilitados como almacén es el antiguo palacio de proyecciones desde el que se reparte exclusivamente.
So that was a warehouse, basically. It was a provisional warehouse. That was like a cinema, I guess.
El movimiento y actividad febril del antes inútil palacio de proyecciones.
Okay, it was apparently abandoned. It was an abandoned cinema. They took it over and they make it into a warehouse so they could facilitate all the logistics.
Y no cabe dudar de que está bien abastecido.
Damn, they're busy. It's well supplied, it says. Again, with a pinch of salt, because it's a propaganda movie, okay? But it's a propaganda movie from our people. It's about, and this is probably very close to the reality of things. Of course, everything is lit on purpose for the camera, because cameras were not, like our digital cameras right now, that you can shoot everything with regular light and everything. So it was probably more different, more manual. People were working, business as usual, basically. It looks like a plenty, and they probably made it like a look like there's a lot of stuff everywhere. But I'm sure there was enough. I'm positive there was enough. This guy's with the eggs. Wine cellar. Or it looks like beer, doesn't it? I don't know. Something liquid. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't know. Oh, condensed milk. For sick people. Condensed milk. Crates of condensed milk for the sick.
Latas de conservas de todas clases.
Cans. All kinds of things in cans. Look at that traveling. That's pretty badass for 1930s Spain, huh?
¿Cuántos productos son necesarios para subsistir y recobrar las perdidas energías los enfermos y los heridos que llegan del frente de batalla?
So this is specifically for the sick and the wounded. And it says that they have everything they need. I mean, it's a lot of canned food, but hams,
basta para que la dependencia de este almacén provea de comestibles a quienes van a recogerlos para llevarlos a las clínicas y hospitales a que están destinados.
So this is a specific warehouse for hospitals, campaign hospitals, and to tend to the sick and the wounded. What do we have? What do we have now? Big. Oh, okay. Robert Graham's Anarchism weblog. Ooh. Check it out, people. I'll check it out later. I need to keep going with the video, but Damn, I love your tangents. They're really, really good.
Hay repartidos por todo Barcelona otros muchos almacenes, como el del Palacio de Proyecciones. Cada uno de ellos tiene una misión distinta.
So there are several specialized warehouses throughout the city for different missions, for different purposes, okay?
Este que vemos ahora en la calle de Pallars envía los géneros de que está repleto al frente de Aragón.
So this warehouse is a different one in Pallars Street, and it's sending to the front lines in Aragon, all supplies, you know. It's a very lively music, isn't it? Anyway, you know, with the cards and, you know, hard at work. These people.
Los y cajas van siguiendo paulatinamente y según lo requieren las circunstancias, las distintas rutas que conducen al frente, donde luchan por la libertad las milicias catalo-aragonesas.
Yeah, it's a very 1930s type of describing things, like these crates and these sacks are following diligently their way to reach the, you know, this is for the troops basically at the front lines for all the militias, you know. But you see, this is a full supply line and it's organized, you know, by the people. No boss is required. Yeah, even the New York Times is propaganda. I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely.
Como la de ternera de cerdo sirven para la fabricación de embutidos, como en esta fábrica de Manlleu, que también está controlada por Abasco.
It's like a meat factory.
Tienen distintos nombres según la mezcla de carne que entra en su elaboración y según también la manera de trabajarla.
So they're making.
Así se convierten en mortadela, salchichón, fuet y otros embutidos igualmente apetitosos.
They're making bologna and the swords, which was very popular, you know, in Spain. It's not like bad bologna. It's like the good stuff with us paprika and everything, chorizo and so on, sausages. And, I don't know. I'm not into meat anymore. I've been a vegan for so many years. I don't really miss them. I mean, it's all in the smoked paprika. But look at them. They're, you know, factories, business as usual. People are hard at work. And they hired more people, you know. So they were fixing unemployment at the same time. Everybody was employed and everybody had what they needed to live. To live in peace. What the fuck? This is stabilized in a weird way. Woo, wobbly stabilization algorithm.
De la fábrica de embutidos,
they're making cans.
A otra de pastas para sopa.
And this is for pasta, for soup.
Muestrario de la fabricación. Y la fábrica puesta en marcha después de 2 años de completa actividad por sus propios obreros.
And the workers themselves kick-started the factory again. You know, it's like the factory stopped because of the war, and it's like probably the owner left it.
Y correas de transmisión. Todo funciona con ritmo acompasado en esta orquestación del trabajo.
Yeah, the narrator is saying like everything is orchestrated and it's beautiful, you know.
Que la va afinando, preparándola para darle luego en otros aparatos.
It's making the dough, making it thinner.
Formas.
So the other devices make it like into shapes. They're making the dough for the pasta.
Toma la graciosa forma de tirabuzones.
There you go. That's they're making loops there. Oh, look at that. They're pressing the pasta. Pasta press. Pasta press. Pasta press. Where do you live, Vic? Anyway, you live abroad? Yeah, I think we talked about this before.
Se convierte en panes que va tragando vorazmente la prensa hidráulica.
Bread. Bring the bread, BJ. Sorry about that. Ah, shit. I got carried away. I hate the word. But bring the bread, you know? Shit. I get carried away a lot. I should really keep an eye on that. Sorry about that. I'm really sorry. That sucks.
Cuando los panes de masa han pasado por la larga garganta de la prensa hidráulica, cae por la parte inferior de la misma.
Do you live in the US?
Macarrones.
Got a friend who lives in Boston and a friend that lives in New Jersey. Yeah, no, I mean, why do you... with the technology we have today, why should you eat animals? You know, they have to live, you know? We all have to live. Bread. Yes, I do. New York. I should put you in contact with my people in New Jersey. Really nice people. Old friends.
La mecánica con la fina pasta de fideo forma unos primorosos ovillos.
Noodles.
Es curioso
Making
observar
noodles.
cómo esta máquina, bajo la mirada vigilante de un obrero especializado,
Under the
realiza
watch
una labor tan
of a
perfecta.
specialist worker makes such a perfect labor. It says, 1930s stuff, it's a lot of fun because it makes everything into poetry. It's pasta, people. I mean, this is a little bit like 1930s how it's made. Should put a Canadian accent if I could. Da, 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 da,
Esta
da,
otra máquina se
da.
llama la Bolonia. Por la Bolonia pasa la pasta ya afinada por las giratorias como una pieza de tela.
A Bologna
Para
machine.
llegar a los finos dientes que tiene la Bolonia, la pieza de tela que simula ser la masa queda convertida en diminutos lacitos como los que podría adornarse la cabeza de un bebé.
So they're making a simulation with a piece of fabric for some
Las
reason.
bandejas de pasta van quedando depositadas en la noria que las transporta
Pasta
a su
trays.
vez a uno de los pisos altos de la fábrica.
That transports the pasta trays to the higher floors in the factory, where probably they will sort them out. But here's the part that I like the most.
Hay otras obreras que colocan las bandejas de pastas
There you go.
en los secaderos.
Put the pasta trays in the drying ovens. All of this without a boss. No boss is required, people. No capitalist required. This is a factory working with no capitalist required. Newsreels of this period, yeah. It was
Los largos macarrones parecen
different
flecos de un
production.
mantón castizo y verbenero.
Yeah. They say like it's like the macaroni, and it's probably
Luego, ya
spaghetti,
secas las
but
distintas
hanging there.
pastas para la sopa, se procede a su empaquetado.
Ew. Welcome everybody from the serfs. Welcome. We're watching 1930s documentary from the Spanish Revolution, the anarchist revolution in Spain, 1937.
¿No habéis bebido
People
nunca
hard
leche
work, business as
pasteurizada
usual,
o
no
cacao
boss
latte?
required. Hola everybody.
Aquí tenéis cómo se elaboran estas bebidas nutritivas.
There you go, making milk.
Los jarros de leche son vaciados en la base.
Chocolate milk, actually. This is chocolate milk factory, people. Hola everybody. Welcome.
En esta máquina de vapor se
Fuck
lavan
Franco,
los jarros,
you know the drill.
quedando completamente limpios de todo residuo nocivo.
So they're cleaning up the big jars, It's basic industrial process. The trick of this, welcome everybody. And the trick of this is no bosses required.
Que han de contener el blanco líquido.
Gonna pause it a little bit so I can tell you. This is a factory working full-fledged by a collectivized and owned by the workers. This is during the Spanish Revolution, the anarchist revolution that happened between 1936 and 1937 in Spain, in the middle of the quote-unquote civil war. There was a coup d'etat and extermination war afterward. So these people are working in all these factories, different warehouses, and people organizing. Hola, everybody. Hola. Hola. Oh, so many good people. So good to have you here. So good to have you here. All of the bread for you all. So, these people were working without a manager, without a boss. People were organized horizontally in committees. People decided how they wanted to work, and they gave most of the produce to these warehouses where they distributed between the cities. People had food for free during this revolution, and people had everything they needed for free, which we'll figure out later on. It tells when people had everything for free, everybody went for alcohol and tobacco, and they took a lot, so they had to ration it. But the point is, everybody's working voluntarily. We're talking about personal and collective responsibility. And this is what personal and collective responsibility do. When you take upon yourself to be your best self, to work for everybody, to work for the people. And but stay away from the booze though. It's dangerous. I would say, I think booze is way more dangerous than I say, for example, weed. Just saying, and it grows, in a pot. So this is probably this is definitely Barcelona during the anarchist revolution, and these people are working voluntarily. They're working. They're the workers who were laid off because of the war, and they reopened their own factory by themselves, and they're working business as usual. No bosses required. Production better than ever, and everything. There was abundance. When the rulers, the ruling class was destituted from liberated Catalonia, Aragon, and the Países Valencians, when they kicked them off, basically. Most of them ran away because of the war, or just stayed in the city, but low profile, whatever. Because most of them were not really. I mean, there was violence, but it was not that bad. And this is about the part of the revolution that is about going to work for everybody. When it changes, when you turn it around and work for the people, not despite of the people, not for the owners. So let's keep seeing these people working. Again, take it with a pinch of salt. After Catalonia, Catalonia still exists. Right now, it's denominated like a quote-unquote region, an autonomous region of Spain, which should be like a state. It should be a state. I would like to see a Spain that is a federation under a government, a Spanish Republic that has a lot of anarchistic characteristics, but it's basically socialist. But... the difference between what you want to see and what you want and what you get is this is during the anarchist revolution. Sorry, Big E. Yeah, I'm failing to understand. Sorry about if I'm failing to read you well or in time. I apologize. I'm trying to keep up, but I know this is a very asymmetrical relationship. This was during the revolution. This was between 1936 and 1937. The anarchist revolution was happening, but also in 1936, there was the coup d'etat of the fascists. So, but at this time, the front lines were rough, but not defeated. Consider that, for example, the city of Madrid resisted all the way up until the end of the quote-unquote civil war, which was, again, a coup d'etat followed by an extermination war by the fascistic troops of General Franco, who was a piece of shit, absolute piece of garbage, and operated as the piece of garbage that... Yeah, sorry if you said it's already... I get distracted, don't worry. Are you from Spain? Yes, madrileño, all the way. Madrileño. I used to live abroad, but I'm back in Madrid. Defeated as fuck. But trying to spread the word. I don't know much about the anarchists in Spain during the Civil War. Oh, you got a lot of goodies to research. It's really good stuff. Also, doesn't help that my ancestor backed Franco. Don't worry, we all have crappy family. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Fuck Franco. You know the drill. Fuck Franco and fuck Franquismo, which is the ism that follow the follow the bullshit, right? It was they changed society in a very awful. Thank you. Fuck Franco. Thank you, Lance. Fuck Pinochet. You know the drill. Fuck Janine Áñez. Fuck her. Fuck these people. Autocrats. Pieces of shit. Fuck the autoproclamado gilipollas del Guaidó, Play-Doh. Yeah, long live Allende. Where we fucked up with Allende is that we couldn't control the army there, and it sucks. But yeah, okay, but let's go back to the movie. These people are working hard and producing a shit ton of things. There was abundance, basically. And take it with a pinch of salt because this is a propaganda movie. So, and lighting a camera in the 1930s in Spain, which is like a traditionally very backwards country. We were behind in technologically, culturally, and whatnot, But this is people posing for a propaganda movie in which were actually open factories that were working just fine, and people, scarcity was eliminated during the revolution. And but what I'm trying to say about this is our connections are deeper than fascists. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they got back to being wage slaves and exploited. Exactly. They're not wage slaves anymore. Exactly. Every branch of this industry has taken over. Yes, everything. Yeah, read what Vic is telling you, so you can follow a little bit with the context of the Spanish anarchist revolution in Catalonia, in Aragon, and the Países Valencians. That it was like a big territory, like a third of Spain. If you calculate the Spanish territory more or less, it's a third of them. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of people. And this was working like a charm. But not just factories, farmers were also giving away food for the militias. And, it was a lot of stuff. Let's keep on watching these good people work.
La máquina embotelladora.
Bottling machine.
Y la entaponadora.
And the cap machine. They're nervous because of the camera, I guess. But yeah, there you go.
El autoclave contiene centenares de botellas sometidas para su conservación a una temperatura conveniente.
Oh, this is autoclave. This is like a boiling machine, that sterilizes the thing. Orwell volunteered in the civil rights, absolutely. He wrote this book called Homage to Catalonia.
Industria que funciona bajo la dirección de un comité obrero de la CNT, la fábrica de galletas Victoria.
Okay, this is the Victoria cookie factory. It's a cookie factory. I mean, it doesn't get any sweeter than that, right? And this is a Victoria cookie factory working under a committee of the CNT. This is basically workers organize themselves. Again, this is a different factory than the one we've seen before, and the one we've seen before. Yeah, it's a posterizer. Yeah, definitely. Clave. Yeah, this is the one that they use also in the tattoo places, parlors, and to get the piercings cleaned up. It kind of uses ultrasound, I think, in boiling water or something like that. So, Orwell, yeah, kind of, he kind of have an edgy vacation. But also, considering, when you read the book, Homage to Catalonia, check it out. It's a novel. You read it like you go take a shit and you finish it. Your butt hurts a little bit. It takes a couple of hours, 3, but it's definitely it's a lot of fun. And Orwell was a little bit biased, but also I love this culture clash between the British who needs to be in time and the Spanish who goes like mañana. He says like one of the first words I learned in Spain was mañana, which is tomorrow. But yeah. My opinion on the film. Which film? We're talking about Tierra y Libertad, or refresh me. Sorry about that, because this goes a little bit fast. But Orwell's book is Orwell's view on it. But he said, he was trying to shoot shit too, in the front. But the front where he went, where he was fighting, they were like the trenches were like 700 meters separated from each other by a valley. So, as I mentioned before, he said like it was more likely to die of a rifle malfunction than actually, enemy bullets. It's more likely that your own rifles that were really shitty because the militias were their supplies were cut by the Socialist Party and the Communist Party, who were definitely not as big as the CNT, but fuck those people. I mean, the Socialist Party mostly, because it's a fake ass Socialist Party. I got no beef with the Communist Party. They made big mistakes in that time, but everybody did make big mistakes. It was a huge mess, the war and everything, right? Yeah, Tierra y Libertad. Yeah, Land and Freedom. Yeah. It's more or less a ripoff of Homenaje a Cataluña. I think Vic and I were talking about it before you all came. Thank you so much for joining again. And the thing is, it's a novelization. It's a romanticization of the thing, but there's a lot of good stuff in that movie. You should check it out. It's a very good movie, and it tells a lot of things like they probably were. Like when the time when it depicts the assembly of the farmers, joining in an assembly and trying to figure out, their everyday lives. That's a little bit of a whiff of what keeps these things in the movie that you're seeing right here going, right? Yeah, the same dude who wrote Animal Farm wrote about Catalonia. Yeah. But he was, he picked a beef with Stalin and the Stalinist government, and there's a point there to be made. Like the original Soviet revolution was meant to liberate people and go more and more democratical, and then everything after World War II got entrenched, and everything went the wrong way. I don't know if Orwell is right into putting the blame personally on Stalin. I'm not really sure about that. I don't know enough about that. But my guess is that things got very entrenched and very, power dynamics took over everything. And it's probably because they didn't organize like these people. And this is a different example of a revolution that went really well and started working like a charm. But again, the Soviet revolution also worked very well industrially and economically. They were like this super backwards country. I think Animal Farm is more meant as a warning to say, "Yo, Soviet Union, get your shit together," than as a yeah. That's I'm under that impression, but I also think that Stalin himself was on top of a machinery that was way over his head. He meant well, I think, in most stuff, like liberating and stuff, but he gave power to a lot of commissars of localities that were shit corrupt as fuck. And at the same time, he had to keep that shit together. There's a lot of nuance there. Of course, there was a power grab, and power makes things fucked up. That's why, all this video I'm making about is, Yeah, the equality. So some animals are more equal than others, and whatever, But that's a caricature. Don't take it, it's meant. I think what Orwell made better are warnings. Like, shit can get this bag. So it's about, you keep. I'm not against vanguards per se, but vanguards need to be accountable. And that's what failed. No mechanism to make, you're a commissar and whatever. Okay, you do the forms, you do the paperwork, and you organize things. And if for some reason thing you organize doesn't work, we tell you. If you don't correct yourself, you fuck off. That's what failed there. In a nutshell, okay? There's a lot of nuance and shit, and a lot of shit that I don't know, that is way over my head, that I'm not gonna go into. But if you know what I mean. He was just a guy with an epic mustache. The other guy, the one who failed at art class, was he the one that really, really sucked. He had the shit together better, but he had a very poor mustache. I'm just saying. Quis custodiae, ipsos custodes. Yeah, who watches The Watchmen, right? Definitely. And Alan Moore was sort of an anarchist, I'm just saying. But again, I'm not an anarchist myself. I dare not define myself as an anarchist. I'm not into brands, if you know what I mean. I think there's a lot of really good things really good takeaways for every leftist ideology that we need to really, really, really interiorize and get what is useful and apply it to our locality, our circumstances, our locality in space and in time. So it's complicated, Don't. I would say as a friendly advice, like something that I kind of learned in life. I'm old as rocks, so one of the few things I learned in life is just don't stick to the brand. Brands, fuck the brands. That's capitalist thinking, if you know what I'm saying. So don't stick with the team and go like, oh, this is the best. It's like we're all winging it, and the quality of your mustache defines your value as a person. Yeah, I think thanks for enjoying the measured take. I'm trying, it's like when you get to real life, all this factionism that is happening on Twitter and whatnot and Reddit or whatever. It happens only online. When you organize in real life, you don't even ask people who you with. You communist, you socialist, you an anarchist. It's like, nah. You just sit down and what do we have to solve, and go like, okay, point by point, we need to solve this, that, and that. Okay, and then we debate how we solve it, and we try it, and if we fail, we try it again. It's not, It's like, fuck the brands. That's capitalist thinking. You pick a team and go with the team all the way. Fuck that shit. That's how they keep us in cages. That's how they keep us down. And this is about this. This whole stream. The idea was to talk about this personal and collective responsibility. It's about you really stepping up to see how can I help people, and how can people help me. So yeah. Yo, Saturnian, good to see you. You uninstalled Twitter from your phone. Yeah, definitely. I mean, also, don't take it to heart. Like, fuck that shit. If somebody's shitting on Twitter, I get like these cringe moments. Like somebody has like a really bad take, and something that is like super baity, and go like, ah. But you gotta have your moment. And then go like, okay, but they're a comrade, so don't just let it go, and yeah, what I mean? Yeah, thank you, Big E. Yeah, Lance is an awesome person through and through, and an extremely funny person too, and good person all the way. So, anarchism is not a standalone ideal. Yeah, it's it's kind of a philosophy, very loose philosophy actually. It's always married with other ideals. Absolutely. That's why, this is what we're seeing in action here in this documentary is anarcho-communism. When somebody asks me if socialist or whatever, I ask them to say what they mean by the term. Yeah, definitely. Then I try to explain those terms what those terms actually mean. Yeah, it's when some normie, quote unquote, what the right wingers call normie, what people who are well adjusted to the social status quo tell you like socialism failed, communism failed. It's like, what's your definition of communism? Then again, what do you mean by communism? Of course, they always evade it. I mean, they always go run away, Fuck them. Yeah. I hear you so much. The USSR fell apart, so communism failed. Yeah. And it's like, what part of the USSR did fall apart? You mean the part where they industrialized a country that was basically like agricultural and backwards from the Tsars and to winning the space race at some point? Or you mean the other Soviet Union that you imagine, that happened? But again, it was not devoid of problems. But you see how big that country was, and that's shit big. How do you make a country that big and try to control it or whatever, right? Anyway, especially here in the North America, yeah, most people just see tanks and poverty, and when they hear socialism, yeah, it's the inheritance of McCarthyism. It's McCarthyism propaganda. It's Red Scare shit. Shit is always black and white for people that are, yeah, of course. Again, going back to the subject of this stream, it's the way we are educated. Our reality is shaped in narratives, in Hollywood shit. There's the goodies, there's the baddies, there's the conflict. Okay? There's presentation, there's the mid part where shit hits the fan, and then there's the happy ending. That's how we're wired to think. Okay, you go back to real life and go like, okay, I made this shit happen. Happy ending, happily ever after, and then next shit happens. And go like, what? Because life keeps going on. There's no happily ever after. You can be happy for a while. You can fix this or that, But life is a fucking process. And defining our politics by narratives of happily ever after, it's a huge mistake. You know what I'm saying? US propaganda was too good. There's a Red Scare 2.0 now. Definitely. Yeah, they're really good at propaganda, but they got the means. We're really good at propaganda too. I'm trying. Okay, maybe I'm failing a little bit, but we got really good people at propaganda. I mean, yeah. We got the Serfs, we got Non-Compete, we got Peter Coffin, we got, I don't know, we got fantastic people, you know. I mean, come on. And the communist stance is strong here in Estonia. Oh, yeah. The propaganda is all about how terrible it was in the USSR and nothing good was back then. Yeah, of course. You know, after the fact, you can reshape the reality. We should never let communism come back in any form. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It's hard to divorce those terms from history, though. Yeah. A lot of places, which is understandable. We got socialist era. Yeah. For half a century, and then colors people think a lot of things. Yeah, definitely. I mean, check Vietnam. Come on, it's not devoid of problems, but it's a more or less happy country, right? Quality of life. You know, not everything is about being rich as fuck. You got 2 or 3 billionaires, and then your GDP goes like phew, skyrockets, but you have poor people in the bottom. So what's the point, right? I think it's a reductive way of determining how people come up with individual philosophies. Definitely, because you know. One of the things that I said at the beginning of the stream is like, one of the first things that we need to do, the homework, is drop the fucking ego. Drop it. Boom. Go. Deconstruct your ego. Me. What's the point? Us. How can I help you? What can I do for you? Is this thing that I'm going to do useful? If it's useful, go for it. If it's not useful, maybe save it. You can do something better. And if if you go out, do self-care, you know, take care of yourself, which is fantastic, you know, be healthy, be good, as healthy as possible, you know, and then be good to other people. Selflessness, you know, it's important. Responsibility, not as a chore, but as a positive thing to contribute to society, to other people, to the happiness of others. That is going to contribute to your own happiness in turn. So it's everybody wins, you know. What the fuck? And then, you know, we have to deal with the Red Scare bullshit, you know. Things are reducted, yeah. Overall, that's probably an issue, definitely. I want to make propaganda art to serve the left. Go for it. Like Eli Valley, go for it. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Russia is now so strange. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, the drunken motherfucker, what was his name? I always mix it up with Boris Yeltsin, which is actually the name. Boris Yeltsin, you know, he was a piece of shit, and he sold Russia out to the oligarchs, who were actually, you know, corrupt officers in the USSR. So but then came capitalism, and everybody was happy because they opened a McDonald's, they opened a Mickey D's. It's like, fuck your Mickey D's, piece of shit. You're just fucked. And we knew it, you know. Leftist people who were seeing that happening in real time, we knew it. It's like, they're fucked. That was the impression. But they looked so happy, you know. It's like they're so fucked. I'm so sorry for that. So yeah, and as a Russian person yourself, you mostly see 2 types of people: Putin good and USSR good, and those are not mutually exclusive. Yeah, definitely, because there's always nuance. You know, you gotta analyze your reality. But capitalism didn't do good to Russia, because Russia is a Slavic country, and the Slavic culture, you know. Capitalism did a number on Russia, as it did in Spain. In Spain, capitalism is brought back the class system, the caste system that we had of nobility. You know, we replaced nobility with celebrities, and it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. Not all communism is authoritarian. Yeah, not all communism has to be authoritarian. And authoritarianism, it can be measured in many ways. I would say capitalism is extremely authoritarian. You know, private authoritarian people are as damaging as public authoritarian people. They're unaccountable, you know. Private shit, fuck it. You know, it's not me, it's us. Yeah, Yeltsin wasted 99% of the time. Yeah, Yeltsin was basically a puppet working for the capitalists. He was a drunk fuck. He didn't know what he was doing. Yeah, Boris Yeltsin, you know, yeah, It's a shame for history, to be honest. Okay, let's move on with the movie. Sorry, people will go on tangents. We have fun. I'm not used to having that many people in the chat.
Volvemos a la segunda armonía de las máquinas.
Second harmony of the machines. They're making cookies, people. They're making cookies. But you see what some of those cookies go.
La amasadora prepara la pasta para las galletas.
Getting the
Pasta
dough.
que afina esta otra máquina, sumada al soberano concierto del trabajo.
The other machine shapes the dough. They're making cookies.
De la elaboración de la galleta contribuyen a esta grandiosa melodía.
There you go.
Dinamismo,
Cookies.
vitalidad de acero. Eso cantan volantes.
They're saying that in 1930s documentary language, like the harmony of the steel and yada yada. You know, they're really circular about it. But these people are making cookies. This is a cookie factory.
Ruedecillas y poleas.
Yum yum, indeed. But there's the thing. I understand where you're coming from, Biggie. Like the opposing an authoritarian revolution. I hear you. It's super tricky because we need to transition from a society that is used to live under a state, oppressive as fuck state, to make a new state. And I would say yeah. And the most anarchist TM. People would say, like, people who read too many anarchist theory and never looked up from the book, which they exist. There's not that many, but they're very noisy. I love my anarchist. I'm saying, I'm actual anarchist. I'm your comrade. I'm one of your team, definitely. But those anarchist TM people who go like, any form of state is automatically oppressive, and it's like, yeah, but no, because a state in itself is an organization, and they define state by the monopoly of force or something like that. And it's like, okay, but don't call it state, call it an administration. But you need to have an administrative body, people working to help people. And when we can replace, as we saw, we can replace laws with solidarity and mutual aid, and people taking matters into hands, which is what this stream is all about. It's all about, how we need to educate ourselves as being more responsible, responsible and more helpful to each other. And that's how you revolution for real. But there'll be resistance. Alas, there will be the most reactionary elements of the army and the police. There will be the private, contractors and whatnot. Today's environment is way different than this 1930s Spain that we're seeing here. That doesn't mean we cannot get there. That means that we need to get there using a different strategy. In every different locality, you're going to have to need a different strategy. But a government that serves the people, we're used to have shitty states. And that's how, you associate the idea state with oppressive, because how does the state enforce itself? By the fucking tax agency sending you threats on the mail that you were behind on your payment, and they're gonna impose a penalty on you that you're not gonna be able to eat next month, or of course by the police and the army, with their guns and shit. It's like, fuck those people. Yeah, fuck those people. 100% fuck those people. But how about, the people in the administration that go like, okay, I'm gonna make your unemployment check. I'm gonna, put it in the system, and I'm gonna make it work. Or I'm gonna set you up with public housing that is super cheap, or even free public housing, and just gonna put this apartment in your name, and that's your new home. That's a different type of state, and that's the state that we're looking towards to eventually eliminate, because eventually we won't need it. But there has to be someone organizing that everybody gets what they need, and that's a different type of state, a state that we haven't seen in history. I agree with that, but we cannot cold turkey go to this today as the way things are. I'd love to go cold turkey from where we are to this thing we're seeing in the documentary. These people are organized by themselves. They don't have a boss. They have everything they need. They have a home. They can eat. You know, they're supporting a war effort at the same time. These people are at war with the fascists. But still, the civilian population, they live without scarcity. These people... And there are no bosses and no government involved in this. This being said, however, how do we get there from here? Figure out, you know, I knew we were gonna get to the same point. I just wanted to, you know, put a little bit of nuance and stuff like that. I'm really sorry that this is like so. I hate the chat live streamer dynamic because it's very. I'm gonna try and read as many as you and as charitable and as and generous. I need to say that I'm here for you. I'm here with you. Okay, I don't want to be confrontational or impulsive in any way. I'm winging it, people. It is what it is. We're all winging it. And whoever tells you they're not winging it and they're super sure, they're lying through their teeth. And thank you so much. So much love. In Malatesta's Anarchy, he states it's better to say anti-government rather than anti-state, because many define state as like the state of things. The point is to organize ourselves so to us become ungovernable. Definitely. My concern is how we get there. I agree 7 million % with that eventually there should be no state because everybody's helping each other. But when we... One of the, let's say, there are many vectors to this. Okay, it's so complicated. And I'm gonna try and bring it back to the subject of this one stream, right? That is about, you know, it's about the ideological part of it, the personal responsibility or collective responsibility. How we need to be in this mindset that is not a harmful mindset. It's not incompatible with everyone's personality. We don't need to be photocopies or whatever. We just need to be, to put it in a simple way, we need to be different, decent people. People who help other people. People who are there for other people who are having difficulties. People who, you know, yeah, anarchists need cookies, right? Oh, thank you so much thank you so much. Shit, I'm gonna need glasses soon. Bradle Jade, thank you so much for the love and appreciation. Appreciation is appreciated. Cookies, yeah, the Cookie Monster could be definitely anarchist. I'm gonna say the Cookie Anarchist. The Cookie Monster is a bit punk rocker, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so many revolutions are usurped by the self-serving assholes. Absolutely. That's one of the things that we need to keep an eye on when we're doing revolutionary processes. You know, revolution is not like that big day that you take the Winter Palace and go like, yo, way! Nah, they're very long processes, and there's a lot of work in the background. That's what I'm trying to point out in this video. The video window that we're watching is people going to work. People going to work. Organize differently, so you're not miserable at work. You're with your comrades there at work, you know, making cookies for the people, and people are gonna give everything back to you, everything you need. Everybody's gonna have what they need. You just need to put the work in it. That's all. Put the work in it and have the good intention. You know, have the good mindset to really not fuck it up. But yeah, surprise, like here in Ireland. Okay, Ireland. My good people from Ireland. The pro-treaty faction. Yeah, we'll hunted down their own people with uniforms and arms from the British and sold out to the north. Yeah. Same two parties have been playing musical chairs for the last 100 years. It's like Fine Gael and Fine Gael. While lining out their own pockets. Yep. On the but that's because of capitalism. Ireland needs to be unified and socialist. You know, let the British. Oh man, I'm so sorry for the people in Great Britain. You know, in the United Kingdom, because that's a sinking ship too. They're going down. Even anarchists need cookies. Yes, I'm an anarchist. Cookie Monster, my dude. Yes, we're all Cookie monsters, for sure. Need a cookie, yay! Need a might need to ration them shits. Yeah, that's what happened with alcohol and tobacco in some collectivities, you know, that everything is for free and people were like, oh, booze and smoke. And it's like, well, we were trying to get people out of smoke and booze because they were bad. And people went like crazy, so we had to ration them. They had to ration them. Because you need to be in the zone. You need to be in the mindset of, booze is bad for you in general. We get fucked up right now. Let's be honest. We get fucked up because life is abysmal under capitalism. We need to numb it down, the pain, you know? Where is taking the place, revolution is making a better system. Definitely. It's not, there's like, basically, in a nutshell, 2 actions. One is tearing down the old system. I would say even 3. Tearing down the old system, getting rid of the parts that we don't like, keeping the ones that work, good for us, and they make all the new ones that are good for people. And that's a shit ton of work. So what do we need for that? It's not the one person that makes everything. It's all of us together making that. So we need to gather all of the people. The CNT had 1 million affiliates when this happened. 1 million affiliates to the union, you know? The CNT. Epic shit. Another day we need to watch another documentary from a friend. I hope it doesn't harm a lot, but the Entusiasmo, which talks about the coming back out of the CNT after the Franco regime, which was a very different story. But that's a different story for another. Violence is auxiliary to the work. I mean, there needs to be. We need to have soldiers. It sucks, but we need to have soldiers. We need to have them. Just it's not all there's to it, because the fascists are going to throw their soldiers at us. So we need to defend ourselves. So I don't know so much about Rojava. I'm so sorry. I'm very ignorant about that subject. I'm not gonna position myself and try to gather some information, but I got like a lot of contradictory stuff, and I don't know. What I don't know, I try not to talk about. I talk about a lot of stuff that I know about, but what I don't know about, really don't know. I try to shut the fuck up because I'm gonna again. I ask myself, is this gonna help? I don't go like, no, this ain't gonna help. Thank you for understanding. Yeah. No, I mean, feed the dogs properly. They need to be healthy. Those fuckers are gonna be happy just running around in the forest. Just take them for a run, and they're the happiest people alive. Envy the dog's ability to happiness. It's one of the things that we should envy as a species. So yeah, I mean, sometimes proactive, it's defense. It's definitely defense. I agree so much with you there. So yeah, let's just keep it with the documentary. We go on so many tangents. It's awesome. I mean, it's a conversation. I love it. I wish I could have you like in a big ass couch, and we're all together talking about shit, and having some tea, a cup of tea, or grey, hot. Let's keep it. Yuche gang, you're Mel, right? Look at this cookie factory, people.
El transbordador transporta la galleta.
Transporting the cookies. No bosses involved in this. No owners. These factories belong to the workers, and they serve the goods for free to the people, because all of the workers
Aquí la máquina que hace los paquetes de las galletas,
there you go,
destinadas exclusivamente a los milicianos.
These special cookies are for the militias.
En las fundas de los paquetes pueden leerse el nombre dado a estas galletas especiales que allá en el frente de batalla saborearán nuestros valientes militares.
So there you go. Those cookies are especially for the militias fighting in the front lines. Those special cookies. They make cookies for everyone, okay? But this batch, with this special label, they're for the militias. And they're called the militias dessert. So they're packaged in a way that, you can have whatever food you have, and then you have your cookies afterwards. This is made with this. You can see this is a product of love. I mean it. These people are working every day to support the people in the city, the people in the villages, and the people in the front lines. And it's fine because everybody else is working to support them as well. Everybody's supporting each other. Yeah, support the troops. But again, these troops were the militias, which had no command structure and were voluntary people fighting in the front lines. And they were doing very fucking well, thank you.
Esta bandera confeccionada por un grupo de obreras de los talleres Calasanz es un símbolo.
Then again, they made the flag. All these workers from the textile factory and different factory, all the factories, everything was working. Business as usual, even better than usual. That's the thing, because the oppressive part was taken away. So what you have left is enthusiastic people working. But again, enthusiastic people with a mindset that is about generosity, that is about solidarity, that is about mutual aid, that is about care. This is a product of fucking love. And that's something the right could never, ever do. Never. Okay, let's keep it up. Sorry about the ranting.
Aquí, como en otros talleres, se confeccionan monos para los trabajadores del frente y de la retaguardia.
Overalls for the workers in the front lines and in the back, so they're making overalls.
Los pies de las obreras hacen girar velozmente las ruedas de las máquinas de coser.
Spindles of the sewing machines.
Las máquinas giran y giran sin...
Every time I hear spindle, I remember the Das Kapital, and I get like...
Cesar en una labor febril que es el tributo que la retaguardia rinde a los que luchan heroicamente en el frente.
Non-stop. Again, no bosses involved in this. This is the good shit. No bosses involved. Everybody working voluntarily to support everyone else, and everybody else supporting them as well. Mutual fucking aid.
Otras obreras cosen y bordan.
Yeah, they're useless. You're right.
Otras aún se dedican al plegado de los monos.
Okay, I need to make another pause here because, yeah, I mean, genders were not so developed in 1930s Spain, okay? It's a little bit backwards. It wouldn't work like that today, okay? Yeah, men in factories and women in, because textile, it doesn't have to work like that today, okay? One issue at a time. This is 1936 and 1937 Spain. Give them a break, okay? It sucks. I'm sorry. Bosses are useless.
Ese enrejado no es el de una prisión, es el de un lugar libre de trabajo colectivo.
Okay, it says these bars are not from a prison. This is a free place of collective work. And you said bosses equal useless. Don't even get me started with landlords, am I right? Oh man, landlords. Expropiese, like Hugo Chavez says. Women activists of the CNT and FI created the Mujeres Libres. Yeah, thank you, Vic. Free women. Which was organized to fight against the triple enslavement, the ignorant to ignorance as women, as producers, and recognize. It was landlords equal leeches. It was a work in progress, but actually women advanced a lot during the anarchist revolution, and they made it by their own volition. One of the main tasks that was supporting the revolution was education. When people had free education for the children, and it was neutral education. It was, I think there's a testimony somewhere. They were saying, I'm not reading Bakunin. And they were saying Bakunin because it was a Spanish teacher, okay? Kropotkin or Bakunin to these people, right? But still, they were...
Estas muchachas como aquellas cosen sin darse punto de reposo porque trabajan para sus hermanos del frente.
So sewing, no stop. Again, child labor. 1930s Spain, okay? Give us a break.
Sufren las ruedas de los camiones que van a cargar o han cargado ya víveres destinados a distintos lugares de reparto y aprovisionamiento.
Logistics.
Carreteras y calles van
All of them loaded trucks.
distintas hacia el lugar de su destino.
Yeah, in every different direction towards their destinations. But, you know, again, take it with a pinch of salt because this is a propaganda movie, okay? Our propaganda, but propaganda nonetheless.
En el economato de Santa Coloma.
Santa Coloma Free Market. That's where people got their food.
El economato va surtiendo de comestibles a todos los obreros de la barriada.
So every worker in the neighborhood gets their food. And these people work.
Atiende a todos por igual.
Everybody gets their equal share.
Les facilita exactamente los géneros y la cantidad consignada en los vales recogidos en la oficina local de abasto.
So, okay, this is organized. They have like a local office for the sharing. They show their paper. You saw what she did, right? There you go. That's what she's giving her the permission to get a free meal from the local office. So it's organized, so nobody gets to be selfish. And then she gives the paper back. Check it out.
La dependencia los atiende a todos por igual. Les facilita exactamente los
Okay,
géneros y
you
la
got your
cantidad
number. There you go,
consignada
your
en los
number.
vales recogidos
And there you go, your
en
food.
la oficina local de abasto.
So you get your food for the day, and it's equally distributed for everybody. So, but nobody went hungry. That's the point, right? There you go. That's a lively market. That's probably real. Just the light is a little bit off. But again, get a camera to work in 1936 Spain.
Hombres y niños salen del economato, llevan los cestos bien repletos de provisiones de boca.
This is the take. I mean, they're giving the bread. Show me those loaves. Show me those loaves right now. Bread. Oh no, you don't do bread on Twitch. Oh, fuck the shit. Yeah. Yeah, that was fucking good bread, Victor. You know that. You know the drill. And there, men, women, and children working equally, to distribute food for everybody. The bread. It's not like people were going short, eh? This is a restaurant.
Los amplios comedores que antes ocupaban maquilladas y frívolas damiselas.
Okay, it's saying it in a very poetic way, but got my atonements to agree to turn over any unused plots next year to growing food for charity food bank. That's awesome. Growing food is fantastic. It's a fantastic thing. That's fucking praxis there. Growing food for people, to share for free. We have some local urban farms here too in my neighborhood. So this used to be a posh restaurant. This used to be like a fancy restaurant for frivolous people, it says here in the documentary. Again, don't take frivolous in a conservative way, but capitalist mindset again. Check it out.
Grandes financieros, capitanes de industria, aristócratas ociosos y aventureros internacionales de toda la Haya, ahora están abarrotados de hombres y mujeres humildes que siguen el ritmo de la sociedad que se está creando.
So this used to be for financiers and rich people. Now it's crowded with working people. So working people, and everybody's super militant here. And that militance was because of there needs to be some context. People were hungry. Okay. Spain in the 1930s, people were hungry. Spain had like several shitty kings that were corrupt as fuck. And people lived like shit. So we had like kings and dictators. We had Primo de Rivera, the asshole, which then had a son who was even a bigger asshole. And yeah, so it's people were hungry as fuck. When you feed people who are hungry, people become militant. It's simple, This is simple materialist thinking. But again, you don't do it for selfish reasons. You do it to help people, because when everybody gets on board, then things work better and everybody has more of what they need. Nobody goes hungry. It's not so difficult. But these people really hit the spot, you know, they saw the need. They saw the need. People were in need. And they could identify what was lacking. Now, what's lacking in today's society is different, okay? And that's something that you need to check out in your neighborhood. You need to check out in your city, in your country. You need to check what's lacking. What are the problems? And we need to fix them ourselves. Only the people can save the people.
De los comedores populares de la retaguardia, nos trasladamos al campamento de Durruti en el sector de Bujaralo.
The Durruti camp in the front lines. Well, almost the front lines. And they're making paella. Big ass paella. Very watery paella, I must say. It's in the making, okay? That looks like soup. Paella, primo. Ya tú sabes. So these were people, these were militia men and women. So this is Durruti's camp. Yeah. In the background there's the FAI flag. Okay.
El Consejo de la Escuela Nueva Unificada nace con el objetivo de promover una escuela única, gratuita y laica en lengua catalana.
Then again we're going back to the bread again. We're going to the Unified Council of Schools, but I think we're gonna leave it here. I think we're gonna leave it here for today, and yeah, I think so. So I think we're gonna stop it here because we could go for so many hours, and I've been like, almost 3, and I wanted to make a short one of this one. What do you know? Yeah. They have a place in America right now where that could benefit from a mass food distribution like this. Definitely. Food banks. I mean, there's food not bombs, right? Who are working in that angle. In the United States has food not bombs, has the IWW that needs to be like even stronger than it is now. You know, millions of militants there, organized. But also IWW supporting food not bombs and vice versa. You know, we need to really build alliances and synergies between all our local organizations. So they work together. We don't worry so much about the brand. Fuck the brand. Fuck the brand. Fuck brands. Brands. We're held ransom. We're held hostages to fucking brands. They're in our brain. You know, they're in our way of thinking. That sucks. General strike, yes. Collectivize Walmart. Expropriate Walmart and Amazon and Whole Foods. Yes. Expropiese. Hugo Chavez was pointing at places saying, expropiese. Expropiese. And Hugo Chavez had some very good points. I'm not going to say he was perfect. Come on. Look at the guy, but... yeah, the food bank lines have been miles long. Of course, because we need more militant. We need to tell people, you know, when you go to the food bank, it's like you have time to, you know, throw some hours in here and help people, you know. But also, you know, fire your boss. We don't need them. So there's a urban farm, Tom, near you. Yeah, definitely. In Ireland, right? Oh, damn, Ireland. Comrades of Ireland, you will join our European Soviet Union when we make it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be with Mediterranean characteristics. See, you're going to have to do all the olive oil and shit. But, you know, it's tasty, so why not, right? Yeah, everyone spends too much on food. They can pay more dues for guns and stuff. If we feed them. I mean, yeah, guns, you know, we need the soldiers, but we need the teachers and we need the workers. What we don't need is the bosses. That's for sure. You know, and soldiers, this example of the Spanish militias, they were volunteers, you know, and there were people teaching people how to use guns. Sometimes even super young people, which I don't think would happen today because we're more conscious of young age. But back in the day, a 14, 16-year-old could join the militia, and that was fucked up in the head. But then again, it was the different times. As I say, you know, different times, different localities require different approaches, right? So I'm going to wrap this up. First of all, thanking all of you and thanking which I haven't done this month, and I should. Thanking my Patreon supporters, people who helped me out on Patreon. And I'm gonna name them right now for the video. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube later. So for what it's worth, if you can spare, you know, a little bit. I don't want to force this on you, okay? Fuck that shit. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to force this on y'all. If you can't, I can't support anybody because I'm so fucking broke. So I understand if you can't, it's fine, you know. It's gonna be out for free anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna if I figure it out. Where you got? I think it's patreon.com. That's a good question. Wait a second. I'm gonna figure it out. I think it's under okay. Boop. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, patreon.com/kukudeivki. Patreon.com/kukudeivki. Why don't I make like more accessible URLs, because I suck like that. I hope that one works. It takes you to the clown nose, motherfucker. Now I put some music in there. I'm gonna do on Sunday a chill music stream, which is gonna be way more relaxed than this one. I'm not gonna get all worked up like today. I'm gonna continue with this video later because I'm gonna talk about education and revolution, which is super key. But right now I'm gonna thank Neil Suryo and Toffonaut and Catherine Stenson and Stefan Bittner, who are the most generous comrades who support me. And also, comrades, El Sinistero. What happened? Patreon says I have to be 18 or older to see your content. I don't know. You're not 18? I don't know. I think it's the child shit thing they did in the United States. You know, I swear a lot, so that's not for kids, I guess. Again, El Sinistero, thank you very much. Kreslak, gracias, tío. The Ragweed, thank you so much. Serena Gallagher, thank you. James B. Vanes, thank you, James. The Kinky Beast, who is very kinky and very beastie. Thank you so much. Neil Sabilgar, tusen hjertelig takk. Michaela Smith, aka Pernicetti, who makes awesome videos about cooking and home gardening. Thank you very much. Matt Blender, thank you so much. And Puffin Bird, thank you. And Inga Leonora, thank you so much. And Queer Potus, who is really started supporting me. And Randy Randerson, thank you so much. To everybody, you all rock. And with that out of the way, I want to hammer again the point. Does it work? Yeah, I hope it works. I don't know what the 18 years old thing, shit they made up, right? I don't even know. I don't even know. If you can't, you just throw me some coffee or anything if it's possible. You can catch me on Twitter at Javitrino. It's the same as the username here on the chat. I'm going to put links on the description for the people who watch this on YouTube. And I'm going to hammer this thing again, you know. Personal responsibility and collective responsibility are more or less kind of stemming from the same place, right? Where we need to have solidarity and mutual aid as the pillars of our ethics. We need to be there for each other. We're individuals and it's fine, but how we operate in society, we need to operate as what we are, social animals. So let's be generous to other people. Let's do as much mutual aid. Doesn't have to be with fucking money. You know, you can be there for people. We need to create systems that enable that better. We need to be rewarding those activities more. We need to be more in the forefront to really make this change happen. now I think I'm gonna raid someone. I don't know who's live or anything, but let's try to raid someone. But this is not of interest to YouTube, so I'm gonna start recording. Thank you so much.